Hey everybody, welcome back to the Raw Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know have to do it. And that is to invite everyone in who wants to be a part of this this terrific, the best community on these internet streets. And I promise you, I am not just blowing smoke up your skirt. This is the best community. And if you don't believe me, just hang out in the comments for a little while. I promise you, you're going to be impressed. And when you come out and you want to be a part of this community, it is so simple. All you have to do is go down in the settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too, so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight that nemesis of mine, the beast, the algorithm. I am making a comeback, y'all. I am. And it's all because of y'all. Y'all always come with the thumbs ups. And I really appreciate it. You know what else I really appreciate? All of the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Y'all always do such a great job. And I know it's not easy, but I want you to know you are so appreciated. So thank you for doing that. It helps the channel so very much. Also, over in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have your support. And if you just want to do a one-time donation, that is simple as well. Look down there somewhere. It is a super thanks button. And if you decide to click it and donate to the channel, just so you know, all donations to the channel is always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we do have some super thanks, and we got someone new. We do. Now, I don't know if they're new to the community, but I think this is the first time I did a shout out for Emily C. Yes, Emily C is absolutely coming through, and I am so thrilled and just over the moon, just happy to know that she saw something in my channel and wanted to support it. So Emily C, thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being a part of this community. I cannot wait to get to know you better. Get in those comments, girl. I want to hear what you have to say. And my girl, Jane Press came through. Yes, she did. Jane is one of my original readers. Yes, she absolutely was here in the beginning of the read. Jane is an original ride or die. Yes, Jane has been with me since the beginning. She saw something in this channel when nobody else did. She absolutely was one of the first subscribers, and I am just over the moon that she has been with me this long, and she never fails. She never wavers in her support. She is the best of the best of the best. And I am so thrilled and so thankful that she is a part of this community. So thank you, Jane. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. Thank you. And Beverly Jackson 6875 came through. Yes, Beverly is everything. She is a ride or die. Always coming through with the support. Always in those comments. Always provoking thought in the comments as well. She comes up with the best comments. So if you see her name, please read her comment. I'm telling you, because I promise you, you're going to be impressed. She absolutely always comes through with something. I'll be like, okay, didn't think of it that way. Beverly is just terrific. And Cool Cat Harlem came through. Yes, the coolest of the cool decided to come through. And she is the best. She is so smart. And she is thought provoking. I say that every time. I just read one of her comments. And I was like, Kat, you are so right. She is always on point. She is a ride or die, and I am so blessed to have her as a part of this community. So thank you, Kat. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. All right, y'all, we're gonna play this and we'll talk on the other side. All right, y'all. I want to give another quick shout out to Emily C, to Jane Press, to Beverly Jackson, 6875, and Cool Cat Harlem. Thank y'all so very much. Thank you for supporting when you don't have to, and y'all still come through, and I appreciate you so very much. So thank you. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, y'all, thank y'all for being a part of this community and being here. That is the best. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, that's exactly what I've been doing. I've been on these streets, and boy, they are getting warm. Now, they're not smoking hot, but they're getting warm. And the reason they're getting warm is because Buckingham Palace has started to fight back against Kensington Palace pettiness and silliness. Charles and Camilla has decided to go all in on Willie. They have, and I am loving it. Their flying monkeys are writing articles, and we're going to highlight two of those articles on this podcast. And I promise you, they are absolutely coming right out of the mouths of King Charles III and his horse. You can tell because they are absolutely sick of Willie running around proclaiming that he will be king soon and making everything about him. I'm telling you, they have had enough. And I love it. I do. Because at the end of the day, he's not king yet. Okay. And that's all I'm saying. So I am with King Charles III on this one. And we're going to talk about a little bit more about what happened at the BAFTAs and how Kate looked at the BAFTAs. I mean, she looked a hot mess with all of that hair on her head and them arms that looked like she could bench press 200 or 300 pounds, and that little frame of a body. One of the squatties said her arms and her body just did not match. And boy, when you got a real close up look of her, it really was a hot mess. And even her fans and royalists who are trying to compare her to our Duchess, Meghan, which resulted in them getting their arse handed to them in the comments. I mean, people was not having it and just being embarrassed by the response that they're getting. How in the world do you think Kitty can compare to Meghan in any form or fashion? But this just shows you how delusional these people are. And we're also going to talk about our favorite prince, the Duke of Sussex. Yes, he just did a video about the anniversary of the start of the war in Ukraine and the Superhuman Center. And we're going to talk about that. And of course, we're going to have some other little things. You know, I always throw some other things in there that we're going to talk about. Listen, y'all lock in. I'm not going to keep you long, but I am going to keep you entertained. All right, y'all, let's start with this. And this right here is a repost because the original Squatty posted this video of Prince Harry marking the anniversary of the war in Ukraine and talking about the superhuman center that caters to the war injured. And we know that Prince Harry has visited this center several times, and it's such a wonderful place. He has highlighted it time and time again on his visits to Ukraine, and I love it. If you hadn't saw this little video, it is up online on X, and Prince Harry is just the best. He is. And the squatty that posted this said Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, recorded a video for the Superhuman Center to mark the anniversary of the start of the war in Ukraine. And this is what Prince Harry said. He said, "To those on the front line and to those supporting from the home front, your strength inspires the world." Yes, Harry is the best. He just is. And the squatty that reposted this said this: "Someone made a great comment regarding the Telegraph's piece of why Harry and Meghan haven't spoken out about Andrew. The comment was that some sections of the British media were probably hoping for Harry to say something because they are looking for leadership in this situation, because Charles and William are failing to rise to this occasion and deal with this crisis." Well, we all know that's true. But I tend not to agree with this. Squatty, it's not that the British media is looking for leadership. They're looking for a scapegoat. And Harry and Meghan needs to continue to be quiet because we all know they love to scapegoat Harry and Meghan, making everything about them and just not focusing on what needs to be focused on, and that is the nonsense that is that family. And this squatty goes on and says, "This video sums up perfectly why people look to Harry to be the voice of leadership, strength, and resolve." He is. He absolutely is the best of the best that has ever came from that family. And that is the reason why he is so persecuted. Because the fact is that mediocrity is what's expected from that family. They cannot tolerate anything that deviates from that. Neither can that media. They want them to be mediocre for some reason. I have no idea why. But it does make me think of one of my favorite people, Coach Deion Sanders, who says, "Don't allow my confidence to offend your insecurities." And for me, I'm going to add this: don't let Harry and Meghan's excellence offend your mediocrity, because that's exactly what's happening over there across the pond with that family and that media. Harry and Meghan's excellence offends their mediocrity. I'm just saying. And this squatty commented under that squatty's post and said, "No, they want him to absolve his father publicly." They've seen the social media comments. They know that what makes Chuck look even worse is that he punished Harry more severely than he even did Andrew. And all Harry was trying to do was to protect his wife and kids. Exactly. And it is not a good look as more and more come out. And it shows how they protected Andrew, how they closed ranks around him, how they did everything to maintain his status. It is a very, very bad look on that family. And they are never, ever going to recover, because it's out there for everyone to see, especially in the Harry and Meghan documentary, which was a master stroke by Harry and Meghan to put it out, to put their side out there, and to show that they left them out in the cold on an island, stripping their security, knowing that they were unprotected with a small child, could have cared less about what happened to them, and then drop the dime on their location by telling that media over there. And they were coming by land, sea, and air, trying to get to Harry and Meghan, to the point where the boats that would bring people over to the island was refusing to bring the media over to the island. So yeah, it looks pretty damn bad for Charles. It really does. And I love it for him because it's all deserved. And this squatty said Harry doesn't need to do anything. He is already being seen as so much better than that family. Where is the lie? Perfect example of what we just talked about. Harry out here showing up and doing good and talking about the superhuman center in Ukraine and marking the anniversary of the war in Ukraine. He is showing people exactly what a real prince looked like. He doesn't need words. His actions are speaking loud enough. And I agree with this squatty. And it goes on to say, being seen as his mother's son, her legacy, how he protects and continues her work. Social media has been filled with posts about Diana all these weeks, with millions of views and posts about her, praising her, saying how he is like her. He is already highly respected as a soldier, and most importantly, a family man, a father who protected his wife and kids. He is much better than anyone in that family, and everyone has seen it. Where is the lie? Let your good deeds and your actions speak for you. It says in the Bible that a tree is known by the fruit that it bears. Harry is bearing good fruit. He really is. And everyone can see that. He doesn't have to say it out of his mouth. He is showing it with his actions. It goes back to what I said in a past podcast and what my grandmother said. A man's head can tell you anything, but watch his feet. His feet will tell you where he's going. And Harry's feet tell us everything we need to know. He's a good man. He's a kind man. He is an accomplished man. And he is a man that is head, shoulders, knees, and toes above anything that family has ever produced. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up, and I'm going to say Harry is the best, but William and his mannequin wife are right there as the worst. I mean, they're not the worst, but they definitely are in the running. And people are still talking about this whole BAFTA event. I mean, it was a SHIT show on so many levels. I mean, it goes from him and Kitty talking about the different movies that were nominated, him admitting that he hadn't saw any of them, and Kitty saying she had saw Hamlet. I mean, come on now. I don't believe Kitty has watched any of them at all, but we know Kitty is going to say whatever needs to be said to put up a good front. But this time, Willie was honest and said he hadn't watched any of them because you have to be in a calm state, and he is not calm right now. He brought it all the way around back to himself. Well, with all that said, it looks like people are still finding interest in their appearance because Harper Bazaar wrote about it and posted about it and said Princess Kate glows in Gucci at the BAFTA Awards. Now, glowing would not be an adjective that I would use for Kitty in this particular situation. But okay, Harper Bazaar, if that's the way you want to play it, okay. But let me tell you, people came in the comments and had something to say about it. And as you can see, it wasn't much interest in this post because it's not that much interest in Kitty and Willie. They got 19 likes, 4 reposts, and 9 comments. And those 9 comments was people going in on Willie and Kitty. I mean, I just can't. But one of the comments said, she's glowing all right, thanks to the British taxpayer, while she uses her position to silence JE victims. Yes, that was the theme of the 9 comments that were actually posted under this. I mean, people are just not having it. And this why they posted this article from GB News about Willie saying that he just is not in a calm state. The title of the article is Prince William says he's not in a calm state just days after Andrew's arrest. Now, I'll tell you what I really love about this. Y'all know I'm messy. I love that in every article, every time something is said about any of them, there's they're gonna say after Andrew's arrest. They can do whatever, but they're going to say, here it is after Andrew's arrest. Now, I love that part. I really do. Now, that's one thing that I can get on board with, but I digress. Yes, talking about he's not in a calm state. All I can say is, when is he in a calm state? And the squatty that posted this said, the same William who flies into a blind rage, throws everyone who mentions Prince Harry's name out of the room, the same Willie who Robert Jobson called boiling with rage, difficult and unforgiving, etc. Has that man ever been in a calm state a day in his life? Exactly. And then they'll turn around and want you to believe that he is not the person that they have described him as time and time and time again. I mean, they'll tell you who he is and then tell you not to believe them. But we all know who Willie is. And he has said it himself right now. He said he's not in a calm state. All I can say is I feel sorry for the butlers. I do. I am sure he has choked several of them out since this whole thing has happened. I'm sure it is not a 200-year-old curtain left in the frame over there at Windsor Castle, because he has snatched them all out. He has rolled around on those 400-year-old rugs and kicked his feet like a toddler because he does not have the ability to control this situation, and people are seeing him for who he is. And that is a pedo sympathizer. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. This was posted by Kevin McGuire. Now, he is one of those people who be on the panel, especially Good Morning Britain, all the time. Now, he pretends like he's against the royal family, but he is still a part of that media and is very much a flying monkey. And this is what he posted, which is shocking to me, And we know where it's coming from. It's coming straight out of Kensington Palace. Listen what he said. And I know this was planted. I know it was given to him. But he said, bit not said out loud is preparations are starting for a state funeral and coronation in, I'm told, 12 months. Can you believe that? He's saying that it is going to be a state funeral and a coronation within a year. We all know where that came from. That came straight out of Kensington Palace. And y'all, I just find it so diabolical that a son would behave in such a manner. You know, when Queen Elizabeth ascended to the throne after her father died, you had a sense that that was not something that she wanted. It wasn't something that she was chomping at the bit to be able to obtain. You had a sense that she actually loved her father and that she was grieving because of his passing. But who is going to believe that about William when Charles finally gets his ticket punched and he steps on board the train to glory? Nobody's going to believe that William is somehow grieving his father. I mean, he is out here briefing about his own coronation and the state funeral. And this guy goes on, Kevin McGuire goes on and says, no wonder William Mountbatten Windsor isn't calm when he faces questions about what he knew about his uncle Andrew and could soon inherit this crisis. But I tell you what, he's not so upset about it that he's not out here briefing you about these so-called preparations that are going on for a state funeral and a coronation. To me, it seems like someone who is excited and is anticipating the death of his own father. And I must say, I don't feel sorry for Charles, not in the least. Charles is a trash individual. He really is. He was a trash father to William. He's a trash father to Harry. He is a trash grandfather. He doesn't even have a relationship with his grandchildren that are there in country. So you know he is a trash individual. But I still say, at least you should give him the respect of the monarch and not out here briefing about his death. I mean, he is a very selfish, self-centered, self-focused individual that has done everything to get his way and to get his horse as queen. Now, he has done that, but at least William should give him some kind of deference because he is the monarch. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And the squatter that posted this tweet from Kevin McGuire said this. So William is still busy planning Pa's death. Charles better post an extra guard at his bedroom door and hire a food tester. Because, yeah, he is out here briefing about Charles's death. And what do y'all think about that whole 12-month thing? Charles is supposed to be gone to glory in 12 months. I don't believe it. I don't. I might be wrong, but I don't believe it. I believe this is wishful thinking when it comes to Willie. I don't believe Willie is in the loop when it comes to Charles's health. I do not. And this squatty commented on that Kevin McGuire post and said, the rabbit way Lord and Lady Macbeth want the throne to be able to then cut off the black heirs should be studied. In part, this is what that take Andrew out of the line of succession howling is about. They are determined the black heirs won't be in the line no matter how remote. Now, I disagree with this, and I'll tell you why. I have learned more and more about the process of taking someone out of the line of succession. It is very, very difficult. And what I've learned is all of the Commonwealth nations have to sign off on taking someone out of the line of succession because let's not forget the King of the United Kingdom is also the King of Canada, the King of Australia, the King of New Zealand, and on and on and on. So they would have to get the approval of every Commonwealth nation. And do you think that all of those Commonwealth nations would agree to take Princess Lilibet and Prince Archie out of the line of succession? I think not. I think not. So get that out of your head. That will never happen. Now, I will stand 10 toes down on the fact that I don't believe that would ever happen, because it's not 14 nations would agree with Willie to take these two children out of the line of succession. I don't believe it. And he would not be able to take the heat, the ridicule, the fire and the brimstone that would be rained down on his head. He would not be able to take it, because we all know he puts up a good front, but in actuality, he is a coward and he easily backs down every time. So I don't believe it, not 1 second. That is the reason why they always try to paint him as this big person, this big, scary monster, when in actuality, he is nothing to be afraid of. Because when he is met with resistance, he will always back down. So don't worry about that. And then this other squatty said, I hope not. I hope Charles lives for another 10 years plus. Now, I agree with that now. I don't care for Charles whatsoever. But the thought of King Willie is not something that I'm down for right now. No, absolutely not. And I'm going to put this up. This was posted by Will Lloyd. And he posted this article from the Daily Fail that was written by Peter Hitchens. And Peter Hitchens wrote, Charles has lost control of the Andrew crisis. And Peter Hitchens is pretty much campaigning for abdication, saying that Charles needs to step aside. And this man, Will Lloyd, said Peter is one of the very few Fleet Street monarchists to understand what happened this week. So they're saying that Charles is not in control of this. And how in the HE double hockey sticks that they think that William would do a better job than Charles. Charles is more seasoned and he is smarter than Willie. Willie is dumb as a rock and would make even a bigger mess of this situation. I mean, I cannot with these people. How they think Willie is a better alternative to Charles, I do not understand. And so this particular squatty posted that post from Will Lloyd and said this: there is many reasons why Charles is in this cluster F right now, but ultimately his obsession for making his mistress his queen is what will destroy his legacy. Where is the lie? That is how Charles got into this situation. I really feel that this was Charles rebelling against his mother and father. He was just determined that he was going to have what he wanted. And because of that, that has ended up to destroy him. He has destroyed so many lives because he has been so focused on what he wants. That's why I always say he is self-centered and self-focused and selfish. And that right there is what is going to be his downfall. He absolutely could not see the forest for the trees. He couldn't. So he decided he wanted what he wanted. And because of that, he made a deal with the devil. Not saying that the queen was the devil, but he made a deal that he would rehabilitate Andrew. He would protect Andrew in exchange for the queen to say it was her wish that his horse would become the queen consort. And that is what he swapped for this mess. So it is absolutely him being so tunnel vision that he could not see the forest for the trees. And that is what is going to make his whole legacy stained and tarnished. He is going down as another King Charles that was a failure. But at least he's doing better than King Charles II, because I think he got beheaded. So Yeah, he's still up on King Charles II. But that's not saying much at this point, is it? But this squatty goes on and says every bad thing that happened is because of Charles wanting Camilla to be accepted and respected. Diana's death, the destruction of his relationship with Harry, paying off Virginia, welcoming back Andrew. Yes, the Queen should shoulder a lot of the blame because she absolutely turned a blind eye to many complaints lodged against Andrew, but Charles is to blame as well. Where is the lie? Where is it? You can just track where he went wrong, and it's always been Camilla. It has always been the bed hopper. I'm just saying. And as you can see, they are pounding that drum. They're beating that drum. They want him to abdicate. Look at this article. It says, if the crown is in peril, King Charles must consider the unthinkable and step aside for William. Right, Shayla Fogarty? Now, I know Shayla, she is over there on the LBC, and she usually is really, really on point, but I think she is off on this one. I really, really do. Because William is not going to be any better. He's going to be worse. This squatty that posted this said, who is pushing this agenda? No, the king must not step aside. Exactly. Why do they think Willie is going to be better? I don't know. But for some reason, they really think that. And this squatty said, if people think Charles was a bad replacement for the Queen, just wait till you see the replacement for Charles. I hear coronation plans are already underway at Villa Park. What do y'all think about that? Myself, I really don't think much of it because isn't that the way they do things? So they can always be ready for any situation if something happens. I mean, British readers, y'all tell me, am I reading this wrong? Am I getting it wrong? Because I really feel that Kevin Maguire is full of it. Now, do I believe that he has been briefed about that? Yes, but do I believe that in actuality, Charles only has a year to live? I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think on this. But I think this is just commonplace. This is what they do to always stay prepared for any situation that might pop up. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but maybe I'm wrong, but let's hope not. Let's hope that Charles lives a good 10, 15, 20 more years. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. This is another Planet story coming straight out of Kensington Palace. And it says William and Kate are concerned Andrew's arrest will hurt the king's health. Amid frustration, they can't speak out after hinting at turmoil at BAFTA. What y'all think about that? Talking about they can't speak out. Why can't they speak out? They're the future king and queen, dumb as a rock. You should be able to say whatever you want to say. And the squatty that posted this said Andrew's arrest will hurt the king's health. They can't speak out. Exactly. Why can't they speak out? It makes no sense. But I will say this. If I had to guess what would hurt the king's health, I would say his oldest son planning stories about his coming demise would actually hurt his health. I mean, these people are crazy. They are planning story after story after story that Charles is not long for this earth. And yet and still they want to try to pretend like somehow they're concerned and they can't speak out. Do y'all think they're saying that they can't speak out that Charles is going to die? It might be, y'all. I don't know what to think. I don't want to believe it. But that is a hint, isn't it, that they can't speak out. That's the only thing I could think of that they couldn't speak out about. is that Charles is going to die soon. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. It is a lot to think about. But let's read a little of this story that this squatty has posted. It says, Prince William's diplomatic outburst about his own mental health at BAFTA was a sign of his deep frustration over Prince Andrew's arrest, fears for his father's health, and his desire to say more. It says the Prince and Princess of Wales are clearly itching to further publicly distance themselves more from the future king's errant uncle, a royal source has said. The couple has also become increasingly concerned about the impact Andrew's arrest is having on the king's health as he continues to fight cancer, another well-placed source claimed. William last night admitted that he was not in a calm state as an extraordinary Andrew drama engulfs the royal family, with some claiming his own future is in peril. Now, if he's upset about anything, it's that. Because William is his father's son, and he is just as selfish and self-centered as Charles is. So he is worried about his own future because he knows that him and that mannequin wife is no Harry and Meghan. They could not make it if they was not funded by the taxpayer. They have no talent. They have nothing to sell that anybody is interested in buying. So this is all they have, that monarchy. And if it falls, they know that in the end, they will fall too. Because they are a bunch of no talent, mediocre, subpar individuals that could not make it in the real world if they tried. These are people that know that if not for slipping out of the right birth canal, they would be just regular people. They would, and probably be failures at life because they clearly do not have the tools for success. Now, wait a minute. Let me retract that back. Now, Kitty absolutely would still be rich. Because Kitty was on the hunt for the bag. She absolutely was about that life before William. She meant she was going to bag her somebody who had some money. So Kitty would have been all right. She absolutely would have ran the honey pot on someone else. She still would have secured the bag. I really believe that because she was bound and determined she was going to get her a rich man. She has been trained for it. She was born, bred, and conditioned to be a person to climb the social ladder. So Kitty was going to make it. She was. She was going to run that honey pot. Y'all, I got to stop being messy. But y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Kitty would have been okay. But I digress. The part where they said that they want to get as far away from Andrew as they possibly can, that whole scandal, that whole mess. How you gonna do that? It is too many receipts out here showing that you were a willing participant in the rehabilitation of this pedo. You can't run from that. But yet and still, here they are out here briefing, planning story after story against the so-called performative cancer-stricken King Charles III. They are out here doing everything they can to save themselves. In my last podcast, I even put in an article that they had planted that somehow they wanted us to believe that they had bought Lily a gift. Yes, they even trying to use little Princess Lilibeth. These people are absolutely fighting for their lives. They are absolutely desperate, and you can tell. If you are out here on these internet streets, the handwriting is on the wall. Willie and Kitty are absolutely fighting for their lives, and so is Charles and his horse. And I want to put this up because this is Charles and the horse's response to Willie and Kitty talking about their concern about his health and all of this planning of stories about his demise. This is what Amanda Patel came in and gave us straight from Buckingham Palace. Yes, this was planted by Charles and the horse. It is so plain to see that these words are coming straight out of Charles's mouth. Listen, this is what it says. Amanda Patel, selfish William in serious trouble. The chickens are coming home to roost with grave consequences. What do y'all think about that? That sounds like a threat to me. That sounds like someone is telling William and Kitty to shut up before things really, really get heated. I'm just saying, we might end up finding out why Kitty got that scar upside her head. Y'all. Yeah, she said that. It says, for a brief moment Sunday night, BAFTAs, we saw the return of Prince William we knew and loved, handsome in a velvet tuxedo alongside his whatevers. I don't even know what that word is, Kate. Yet our future king just had to ruin the moment. He couldn't resist the urge to make it all about him. Now, y'all know that's coming from Charles. Come on. It says when he was asked if he had watched the award-winning British movie Hamlet about the death of Shakespeare's young son, he said no, it would be too traumatic for him. I need to be in a quite calm state, and I'm not at the moment, he explained, which meant predictably that all the next day's headline was going to be about William's pain, shamelessly and self-indulgently overshadowing the staggering success of the movie at the awards, including that its leading lady, Jessie Buckley, who won the BAFTA for Best Actress. The next day, it was briefed by palace sources and not denied since that William fears for his father's health as King continues to fight cancer. It seems to me that William is playing the sick dad card to cover his clumsy, selfish behavior on the red carpet. What do y'all think about that? And them saying that he's playing the sick dad card. I think that's an indication to what we have been saying about Kitty playing the cancer card. They be listening to what we're saying. And I believe that right there was a hint to what they're saying. Y'all need to shut up before we really tell the truth that Kitty never had cancer. What do y'all think? Am I reaching? But I'm saying it is funny to me for them to say the sick dad card, and they know we always say the cancer card when it comes to Kitty. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I don't think I'm reaching. I really feel that this article was to be put out there to speak to Willie and Kitty and tell them to settle down, because we have a lot that we can put out about you too, and y'all will be ruined. Because if they ever put out and it is found out that Kitty never had cancer, they might as well shut the whole thing down. And we all know that Charles is very, very vindictive. And because his reign has gone up in smoke, he might absolutely make sure that Williams does the same. Y'all, I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But this right here is, to me, Charles speaking to William, like I said, and telling him and his mannequin wife to pipe down. And it goes on and says, I have no doubt William is deeply concerned about his father's health, but some might feel he has a funny way of showing it. While Charles carried out 533 royal engagements, including grueling visits to Canada, Italy, Poland, despite still undergoing cancer treatment. His eldest son managed a paltry 202. I mean, clocking the numbers. Bring in the receipts. Yo, I'm telling you, it is full on war. It says, where was William 43 when the king 77 needed him the most to share the load of royal duties? Woo! Ooh. I mean, Charles is coming for his neck, isn't he? He's coming for his neck. It says, the answer is that for the last part of the year, he has huddled away in his new forever home, Forest Lodge, buried deep in the Windsor Great Park, in 150 acres of private fenced off land and surrounded by 24/7 security guards. Tell me Charles and Camilla is saying, listen, y'all are just pups here. You cannot run with the big dogs because the big dogs will bite. Oh, it is so good, y'all. And she goes on to talk about how much money they're paid every year and how he doesn't even tell, the people how much taxes he pays and what he's going to inherit when he ascends to the throne, and how Gen Z is not going to be like the rest of the generations. They're going to want accountability. And she goes on and on and on. She says that he will not be able to impress them. But of course, she had to take a jab at Harry and Meghan. This is what she said. Take away Harry and Meghan's royal titles, including those of their children, Archie and Lilibeth. The Sussexes have not for years been working roles and just shamelessly profiting off and tarnishing the royal name. I want her to tell me how Harry and Meghan has tarnished the royal name. It is so ridiculous to me that you would include something like this in an article when Harry and Meghan and their children are the only one coming out of that family right now who has any kind of respect of the people. I mean, what has Harry and Meghan done to tarnish their name? Make some jam? I tell you why you're so mad. It's because Harry and Meghan has been a success and they are not a part of this. Y'all want them to be a part of it, but they're not. They're good people. And of course, because of that, y'all mad because that whole family is going down in flames. It's all tainted and they stink. And Harry and Meghan came out smelling like roses. You mad. But she also said to take Beatrice and Eugenie's titles as well, called them hangers, and she calls them hanger-ons. Yes, she is brutal. She is brutal. But all I can say is they think that this is a SHIT show. Try to take those titles away from those kids. Let him do everything that she has said in this article and see how that comes out for him. I know that they think they want that smoke, meaning Willie and his mannequin wife and those flying monkeys. But they do not want that smoke because it is going to be a smoke that they get choked on. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up, and it's a repost, and the original post about this article, the part where they're talking about Willie, talking about he's being concerned about Charles's health, and he has a funny way of showing it. Yes, that was the best part of the article. And this squatty said, the dragging. Yeah, she drugged Willie and Kitty. She absolutely did. She skull dragged both of them. She did. And this squatty that reposted this said, well, damn. Not Buckingham Palace basically telling Kensington Palace, y'all lazy ASF and could never. Exactly, because Charles was saying all of these things he had done, and he did them while he was fighting cancer. Listen to it. It says the grueling visits to Canada, Italy, and Poland despite still undergoing cancer treatment. And they put it in bold type. Yes, they did. They highlighted that Charles had carried out 533 royal engagements while going through cancer treatment with no help from his elder son, and said his elder son managed a Petrie 202. Ooh, the dragging, the dragging. It was chef's kiss. And this other squatty came up under there and said, I screamed. They're fed up as F with Bill and his wife. Yes, they are sick of them out here planning stories and talking about Charles's demise. Charles said, I might be going out of here. At least that's what you're saying. But I did do 533 engagements, and you're supposed to be healthy, and you only did 202. And just name them one by one by one. Just absolutely put the receipts right there on the table, saying that, listen, if you so concerned, why you ain't happy? I love it. I love it. This squatty is like me. I scream. I really enjoyed this article, except that dig she put in there about Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan does nothing but mind their Montecito business and have never done anything to reflect badly on that family, except told the truth about that family. If they had treated Harry and Meghan well, they would have said good things about them. They didn't. So Harry and Meghan told the truth. They never can get past that. And also remember this, if anyone is reflecting badly on anyone, it's that family of pedo protectors that is reflecting badly on Harry and Meghan. I'm just saying. And I want to put this up. This has come out that Fergie, she has disappeared. Well, the word on the curb is that she has checked herself into a mental health facility. Yes, she has gone in for some help. But you know what? I really feel that this is self-serving. This is my opinion. I'm just saying this is my opinion. Fergie is trying to rehabilitate herself. She wants to try to say that somehow she was mentally ill. And it is the same thing when people get caught in Hollywood, they go into rehab. Some kind of rehab, they go into it and try to come out anew. This to me is a strategy of her trying to rehabilitate herself. So when she comes out, she can talk about it. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But this is my opinion. This is my belief. This is what I think is going on. And as you can see, this was in OK Magazine. And it says Sarah Ferguson is suffering with her mental health after ex-Prince Andrew's shocking arrest. Yes, they say she is in a mental hospital. And this particular squatty that posted it said, y'all didn't care for Harry and Meghan's mental health, so F all the way off. And that's the way I feel about it. Sarah Ferguson is like a cat with 9 lives. Now, she absolutely has lost about 3 or 4 of them, but she still has 5 to go. She's trying to rehabilitate herself. And let's not forget, look what this squatty reposted that and said, because this right here is the key and why I have no sympathy. It says Fergie personally thanked Piers Morgan for attacking Meghan and defending the British royal family. Pierce said Fergie sent him supportive messages following comments about Meghan. So I personally don't give a F about her mental health. And that right there is my feeling exactly. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. Look like Edward is not feeling his best. What y'all think is going on here? This is what GB News reported. It says Prince Edward forced to pull out of event with King Charles due to health reasons. What y'all think? This particular squad, don't think much of it. And said, okay, these people need to stop. Stop right now. You have lost the plot entirely. They think that they are trying to still drum up some kind of sympathy in some kind of way. Now, I saw a squatty that predicted that Camilla was going to come down with some kind of failed illness or something in order to try to drum up some sympathy and take the whole thing off the front page and put something else on there. Yes, they were predicting that. Squatties are a mess, but yeah. So this squatty is feeling like they are trying to pull one. So she said, stop it. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this one. And I'm going to put this up. I want y'all to tell me what you think about this one as well. This is a new documentary coming out on Channel 4, and the title of the documentary is The Middletons, Should They Be Working Roles? Y'all, I cannot. And this squatty said, okay, guys, I can now officially declare that the monarchy is in crisis. Yes, yes, yes. When they are having a documentary saying that the Middletons should do royal engagements and should be working roles. Now, you know, it has gotten real thin over there. It says they will soon be accepting application for even us commoners to be working. Y'all, I cannot. And my whole thing is, why in the world would they want the Middletons to be working royals? They just is scheming and low down and a bunch of grifters. That's the one that they already have. I mean, the Middletons is nothing but a bunch of grifters and liars. We still don't know where they got their money from. They want to try to pretend like they got it from Party Pieces. Come on now. That shell company, Party Pieces was not a profitable company. It was a front. So Kitty Cat could run the honey pot. And my whole thing is that company has collapsed, 3 years ago? They actually had to pay someone to take it off their hands. So where are they getting their money now? Why don't somebody do a documentary about that? Yes, the grifting Middletons. I cannot with these people. And this particular squatty is talking about this documentary as well and says the Middletons, another family that has gone bankrupt and they can grift from taxpayer money. You can pay for them too. Vote now. By the way, anyone knows if they are working after going bankrupt? How they live? Who pays for them? Yes, good questions. How about doing a documentary about that? I bet you people will watch that one. They ain't gonna watch this one because this one is nonsense. Now, I want to put this up because one of Kate's fans put this up. This is a picture of Kate at the Baptist. Look at Kate. Kate looks so bad. Look at all that hair on her head. Do she not understand how phony baloney she looks? And look at her arms. Just everything about her is just off. And this is her fan. This is what she said. She said, Catherine, the Princess of Wales at BAFTA Awards 2026 at the Royal Festival Hall. It says, those cascading waves. Oh my God, these people, it says, the soft blush gown, the effortless glow under the lights. She didn't just attend, she owned the moment. Is it just me? Yes, it is just you. It's just you. Or did she steal the entire night? And look at the picture she posted. I cannot, y'all. I cannot. And I'm going to put this one up. Look how far apart her and Willie are sitting. And look at Kate. Kate looks so weird. I mean, she looks like she is just playing the part. I often say Kate is a better actress than Megan. She absolutely is on every time the cameras are rolling. Kate is on, and look at how she is sitting. I mean, it is no grace whatsoever to Kate. They always try to say that she is so graceful. Watch her and William walk into the BAFTAs. She is walking like she is a football player. She has the grace of a linebacker. Go watch her because, I mean, she does not have a graceful walk. And this particular squatty posted the side by sides of William and Kitty at the BAFTAs and William and Jason Knopf at that. I think it was a climate summit. Look at the difference. It says Willie is closer to Jason Knopf than Kate. Sure is. I'm going to leave it there. All right, y'all. I will see y'all a little later. Bye.